once was a ship that put to sea. The name of the ship was a Billy of Tea. The winds blew up her bow, up down, oh below my bully boys blow. Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us.
Good morning, everyone. Delighted to have you with us live here in Compiègne and live with you on FEI TV. We've already enjoyed a fabulous day of five-star sport yesterday with some of the very biggest names in the dressage world here, having a fabulous competition in the Grand Prix, and what a class it was, and of course Nations Cup competition as well. It was absolutely brilliant, and we enjoyed every second of it. And I'm really excited to enjoy today alongside you as well. We're going to start with the Grand Prix special, and then this afternoon at 1 o'clock we get underway with the freestyle, the Grand Prix freestyle as well. And as I say, some of the biggest names in the sport lining up in this one, and looking forward to every single stride. And we're going to start with the opening stride coming from Australia, and Mary Hannah in front of our judges. The judging panel, huge experience. Great to see this lineup here. And in the special this morning we have at E, Marcus Ringmark; at H for France, Céline Trimblon; the president, Susan Barrett; at C, and then at M is Isabel Wessels from Great Britain; and Michael Osinski is the judge at B, the judge from the USA. But it is Australia that kick us off this morning. Ivanhoe, the Dutch warm blood. This lovely looking gelding. It's now 11 years of age, and this partnership making the trip over now to Europe, looking ahead to the summer, having had a very successful season of competition at home in Australia. Started with this ride internationally last year. Written the special before on a couple of occasions. Best score coming in Queensland last year, where they scored 71.660%. Yesterday they scored 68.696 in the Grand Prix test. Solid start. Unfortunately, just losing the momentum there, and that'll cost them on their marks. That is such a shame. Just a little uneven in the transitions, just keeping that regularity. Regularity to every movement, every transition always comes first. It's the first thing the judges are looking at. Struggling with that transition. Fluency of that transition is such an important part of it, the transition from the collected walk into the piaffe, into the passage, and struggling a little bit to maintain the rhythm. Little mistake, I think, in the first tempo change line. Harder to tell from behind. The score's down slightly. Just losing that rhythm and regularity through the first of the pirouettes. Just needs to keep the quality of the canter as well. Nearly square at the end as well, but nevertheless there's plenty to enjoy and plenty to like, and it started off really strongly, but when they had a couple of moments in there just where they struggled with the regularity of the paces and certainly in a couple of those transitions, but nevertheless Mary Hannah, it's fabulous to see her in action, and one of Australia's best there with Ivanhoe, and of course in a moment the score will lock in, but it looks at around that 67.1% mark. In fact, it is indeed. It's come through straight away here from our panel of judges across all five to a total of 67.191. You've got a 69, a 66, a 68, a 66 and a 65. So a nice even balance in there from this panel, and there's a huge amount of experience there as well. So first out for Australia. What are two Australian riders competing here over the course of this weekend. Let's see the other one in the freestyle, Jessica Dettro, a little later, I believe. Bora Caracosa. Next up, it is the turn of Spain's first rider of the day. Of course, one of the teams involved yesterday. Scored 68.261% in that Grand Prix test yesterday. Tremendously experienced rider, who of course as well has just returned from a trip to Riyadh and the World Cup finals where he rode his other horse, Hubert NRW. Rider that has ridden World Championships, European Championships. That trip to Riyadh, though, was his first time at a World Cup final. This horse is Frisantino FRH by Finest out of a quarterback mare. It's only a 9-year-old, still new in a lot of respects this season to the big tour classes, as they just started this year. He did ride it in the young horse classes back in 2022 and 2021, in the 6-year-olds and the 7-year-olds. He has, though, ridden a special. He did that in March in the 3-star in Motiesi, where these two scored 71.894% in that 3-star. It's their first 5-star show together. Bora Caracosa Frisantino FRH. Neat and tidy start to this test. 9-year-old already showing a huge amount of talent at this level. Beautiful set of paces. Difficult transition, as we know. Using a few marks through the walk pace. pirouettes, but showing a lot of quality throughout this test. Great consistency. Short of the walk. I really like that young horse. I say young horse, 9-year-old sits in the middle, but it's certainly young at this level. And there's been a couple, in fact, we'll see another one in a moment, another 9-year-old that really stood out yesterday. But that for Spain, I think, with Borracat Costa, there is Fresantino FRH, and has got an exciting time ahead of it. Really enjoying the quality of a lot of the movements, the consistency that horse is able to deliver. Just really losing a few marks in the walk, and that transition into the Piaf. But there's the score. You can see going as high as 72 from the judge at M, but otherwise 69s and 68s. So it's a 69.617 for their first 5-star Grand Prix special, only the second special that horse has ridden. Talking of the other 9-year-old, here it is. It is Vita de Lusso for the Netherlands, this Hanoverian gelding by Vitalis out of a Veltano mare. And in the saddle, as you can see on the screen, is Dina Vanier, another tremendously experienced rider with, of course, championship medals behind her as well. Very used to seeing her on the great Monaco. Sorry, Monaco? I meant Hermes. I'm thinking of another horse that's got an NOP behind it. But of course, she took the individual bronze and the success at the World Championships. And of course, she had a lot of success in many of the World Cup rounds as well. This horse, there, as I say, is the younger member of the team. She rode it in the 3-star in Sertogenbosch. It was their first big tour competition. She didn't ride the special, so this is their debut in a special. She won both the Grand Prix and the freestyle when she went to Den Bosch back in March. Built up through last year, riding some lovely PSGs and into ones, has been successful. Grand Prix score back yesterday, just to revise my knowledge of that one, was 69.130. And riding a part of the Dutch team. So first ever Grand Prix special for this horse. Of course, we know the rider knows the way around. It'd be fascinating just to see where this puts them. Yesterday was the first time I'd seen this horse and rider combination in the arena, and very exuberant through its paces, already very well established, and there's a lot of quality. There were just a few moments of greenness in that Grand Prix test yesterday that cost them, but that's more than understandable. But again, you can see the potential for these two going forward. Already delivering on that with the early marks here today.
monster. I love you since this morning, no, just for aesthetic. I wanna touch your body so fucking electric. I know you're scared of me, you say that I'm too eccentric. I'm crying all my tears and that's fucking pathetic. I wanna make you hungry, then I wanna feed ya. I wanna paint you and I wanna be a loser. I'll even be a clown cause I just wanna amuse ya. I wanna be a sexter, wanna be a teacher. I wanna be a
Really nicely balanced through those transitions. Showing some tremendous self-carriage. What looked to be a very nice transition down into the walk as well, slightly obscured by the box.
And I could be the monster. I wanna make you quiet, I wanna make you nervous. I wanna set you free, but I'm too fucking
Oh dear.
I wanna pull the strings like you.
It's such a difficult part of the test, and unfortunately, up until that point, it had all been going so well. They hadn't had that sort of class then as just a novice-y mistake, not for the rider, of course, just where the horse is still learning, and it is right, all the movements, all the tests at home go in the competition arena. It is just a slightly different moment. Ooh, as that is such a shame because the score was really keeping a very consistent level over 70%. That is what these tests are designed to do, test and really allow and require the horse and rider to demonstrate that connection, that understanding. It does take time. Like I say, the score now, sadly not, it's reflective of what's happened within the test, but it's not maybe as reflective as it was. Because when you get the mistake, the marks go the wrong way round, and sadly that drags you down. Just losing a little bit of rhythm coming out of the pirouette. Same with the pirouette to the right. Lovely halls, lovely horse, and very well ridden by Dina Valera there, and Vita di Lusso, the beautiful 9-year-old. I think has got, like we said, really with the Spanish horse that we saw a short while ago. I mean, these young 9-year-olds stepping in, stepping up, and it's a real pleasure to see them sort of getting out at 5-star level for the first time at such a big event. And there's the score from a 65 or 68. Well, a lot of 68s there. 67.638, as you can see on the screen. It goes into second at the moment. It was up until that moment in the test where she had the problems in the PF, where she lost all that sort of impulsion. Of course, you've got to keep the power in there and then control it with those movements. And sadly, just a little bit of miscommunication, a little bit of, perhaps, like I said, greenness coming in, and that really cost her dearly on her overall marks. Otherwise, I could have seen that test sticking at over 70%. But it wasn't to be. For the moment, it goes into second. It leaves Burro Carcosa from Spain in the lead of the Grand Prix Special here on Fresatino FRH. 69.617 is that leading score still. That means we can move on to another from Spain here today. This lovely Lusitana stallion called Increviel. It is by Pinheiro out of an Oasis mare. In the saddle is Sergio Eduardo Lopez. Just getting set to start. 69.674 was the score in the Grand Prix here yesterday. Of course, this is a rider that has ridden at two Olympic Games, ridden at World Championships and Europeans. He's the Europeans in 2023 last year in Riesenbeck on First in Glory OLD. This is their second season competing internationally at Grand Prix level. They rode the special in Hagen actually in April, was their last test, the fourth time for this horse in a special. It's only the third time though with Servio as a combination, as a horse. The score they picked up in Lear back in March of 71.936 is the best, but obviously just finding things a little difficult there this morning. And again, rhythm, regularity taking a little bit of a hit. bit uneven through that transition. Certainly better than we see from about one or two already. Use the corner just to sit the horse back. You can see the way the horse lifted his head slightly as he came round that corner, just setting it up for the first of the piaffe movements. Of course, I meant pirouette. A little bit of a moment there in the transition, but we're a partnership, as I say, that are still as well relatively new at the Grand Prix Special, only their third special, and still in their second season of competing together internationally. For this horse, it is heading over 68.6, so that was for Spain, Sergio Jaguara Lopez riding Increverde, this Lusitana stallion. And with a 68, 68, 67, 69 and 69, it's a total of 68.745 from our panel of 5 judges. So, for the second of the riders from Spain. Well, from Spain to Portugal, Maria Caetano goes next. 68.913 was the score yesterday in the Grand Prix. This horse hit plus. Stallion by Breton Woods out of a Pelata Pina mare. has ridden course for Portugal at the very highest level, including Tokyo World Championships. Some lovely horses throughout her career. Went to the Europeans last year with her Tokyo ride Phoenix de Dinero. She also rode at World Championships. She's now 12 years of age, this stallion. A lot of success in March in Spain, in Jerez. Rode here last year as well. A couple of wins in Lisbon in the Grand Prix Special last year. Their top special score 72.468. But again, just struggling with that opening in terms of the marks. A little bit unfortunate there through the transition. They had quite a nice extended walk, the collected walk. Just a little bit of tension creeping in. Really quite happy in the passage. Ooh. Precise as they wanted in that transition from the passage into the canter. very relaxed in its movements. Lift as well through the pirouettes. See the way he keeps that relaxed. So that wasn't necessarily what I would class as the best transition I've seen today. Really solid performance, and a horse that's got some beautiful attributes to its performance. I love the way that they get on so well. Of course, they've been a partnership now for a good number of years, and those small moments, that communication, you could see when she was doing the tempo changes and finished those after the pirouettes, just that moment where she's able just to quickly reach forward, give the horse a little sort of well done pat, and just to keep that reassurance and that connected understanding. Well, some good marks as well, and it's the first through the 70% mark overall here in this 5-star Grand Prix special. 69, 69, 70, 70, 69, so 70.021. The panel of 5 judges all very neat and tidy, and looking there within what is a basic percentage mark of each other on their scores. So well done there to our new leader for Portugal, Maria Caetano, riding Hit Plus. So it is Portugal, Spain, Spain. In terms of nations, Maria Caetano, Bora Casacosa and Sergio Rado Lopez is the current 1, 2, 3. 3 more to go before we get to the break here this morning. We have a total of 16 in this Grand Prix special, and as I said earlier, the freestyle to come up a little bit later on this afternoon. This combination that go next for Luxembourg scored 69.130 in the Grand Prix test yesterday. It is Nicholas Wagner Ellinger riding quarterback junior FRH. Hanverin gelding by quarterback out of a Bonnier mare. This is ride at the Europeans over last year and back in 2021 and in 2019. Also read at the World Championships and Olympic Games. This horse that is brought through from the young horse classes and has developed into a top-line challenger. They went to Doha recently in February. They were there at the 5-star show in Qatar, competing then in the Grand Prix and the freestyle. Qualified for the special at the Europeans last year, scored 70% I believe in that. A lot of 72, 73 scores in Grand Prix special. He has scored as high as 75.553%. That came a couple of years back in Lear in a 4-star. 15 now this horse. Nicholas Wagner Ellinger for Luxembourg, quarterback junior FRH. looking relatively settled to start this test. A long way still to go, but just looks a little bit tense perhaps there through the extended, and perhaps could have asked for a little bit more. Still got to be able to really allow the horse to open up its frame in those extended trots that come between the passage and the transition as well. You've got to remember includes its own mark in the special. Perhaps a little bit more activity, just to take the weight a little bit more in the piaffe. That was slightly unfortunate. Just having that break in the half pass, canter half pass. Just a little bit of resistance. Just a little bit of tension there, just you can see as well as they were going across the diagonal, and the two-time changes just swaying a little bit, not quite as straight as I think the judges would have wanted. Lovely halt. It's a lovely horse. It's a very experienced horse as well, and rider in the partnership of quarterback junior FRH there with Nicholas Van Ellinger for Luxembourg. Inevitably, always a couple of moments in any test get a count against you. We can look to the half pass for that. And as I say, just in a few places, you could just see a little bit of tension just having an effect on the rhythm of those performances. Getting a lot of appreciation from our crowd and a range of marks from 66 to a 69, 66, 68, 68, 67, 69. So it's a total of 68.234%. So goes into fourth place at the moment behind Maria Catano, Boya Carcosa and Silvio Rado Lopez. 6 have gone of the 16 in all that are coming forward in this Grand Prix special. Just having a look, here is the next to head into the arena. And it is the first we see today from Belgium, and another that has recently returned from those World Cup finals. This horse that she rode to 6th place in Riyadh. Also rode on the team for Belgium with this horse at the Europeans last year, her first championship appearance. It is Florida Win, riding Flynn FRH, this stallion, Hanoverian stallion, that is by Tannenhorst Fahrenheit Adamus Oldenburg mare. Some good results over the course of the winter to qualify for Riyadh. Perhaps the highlight being that podium finish in the freestyle in Mechlin. 10 years of age now, Flint. PB for these two in a Grand Prix special, 71.936%. This is their 7th Grand Prix special together. And this has been the case with, I think, a lot of the horses and riders we've been seeing here this week. There's certainly a lot to demonstrate in the Grand Prix yesterday, the special today, for these horses as they look ahead to teams and championships. Of course, this year with the Olympics, but also thinking forward as well to the other major championships that are on the horizon. Certainly got the start they wanted. force down a little bit into the first transition.
Wish I found some better sounds no one's ever heard. I wish I had a better voice that sang some better words. I wish I found some chords in an order that is new. I wish I didn't have to rhyme every time I sang. I was told when I get older all my fears would shrink, but now I'm insecure and I care what people think. My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think. My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. We're stressed out. Sometimes a certain smell will take me back to when I was young. How come I'm never able to identify where it's coming from? I'd make a candle out of it if I ever found it. Try to sell it, never sell out of it. I'd probably only sell one. Maybe to my brother, cause we have the same nose, same clothes, homegrown, a stone's throw from a creek we used to roam. But it would remind us of when nothing really mattered. Out of student loans and treehouse homes, we all would take the ladder. My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think. My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. Used to play pretend, give each other different names. We would build a rocket ship and then we'd fly it far away. Used to dream of outer space, but now they're laughing at the face, saying, wake up, you need to make money. Yeah. We used to play pretend, give each other different names. We would build a rocket ship and then we'd fly it far away. Used to dream of outer space, but now they're laughing at the face, saying, wake up, you need to make money. Yeah. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out.
Used to play pretend, bunny. We used to play pretend, wake up, you need the money. Used to play pretend, bunny. We used to play pretend, wake up, you need the money. Used to play pretend, give each other different names. We would build a rocket ship and then we fly far away. Used to dream.
She'll be so pleased. You can see how happy she is. The partnership of Florida Win and Flynn going into the lead. No doubt about that, you would suggest, because that score just going to go upwards. It was only the little moments in the walk. Everything else very, very solid from the partnership there that had certainly become a big part of Belgium's dressage in those Championship World Cup performances recently. Very, very exciting. And look at that, all strong scores as high as a 72. So 70, 70, 70, 72 and a 69. So 70.681, new leading score. It puts Florida Win and Flynn FRH on top of the pile as things currently stand. So more from Belgium after the break. Before the break, we have Juliette Ramel for Sweden. This is Boreal KH. That's going to be the next to get started in this Grand Prix special. Gelding Dutch Warm Blood by Osmium, and out of a IPS Kaxi mare. And another rider that has played a big role on championship teams, having ridden with this horse in both Rio and Tokyo's Olympic Games. I'm sure we'll be focusing very much towards this summer in Paris. Consistent part of championship teams for Sweden, including the Europeans in Rotterdam and again in Hagen in 2019 and 2021. They rode at the World Championships in 2022. Although this show is their first show together since, would have been July of last year. It's great to see them back and back strong as well. Yesterday they scored 70.543 in that Grand Prix test. Now 18 years of age. Huge experience. Of course, they've got some tremendous scores in Grand Prix specials in the past. I believe their personal best stands in the special from Hagen in 2019 when they scored 77.851. A real pleasure to watch these two. Still able to perform at their very best. experience, certainly bringing a very strong score and a real consistency to this performance. So good to see these two back in the competition arena.
This for everybody going through tough times. Believe me, been there, done that. But every day above ground is a great day. Remember that.
Nice extended canter coming back round now. Really super performance so far, setting up for the pirouette. And certainly the best of those in this first half of the class. Able to maintain a really nice rhythm. Good transition down into the trot. Well done to the pair of them. Really brilliant Grand Prix special from the partnership there of Juliette Ramal and Burial KH. Back after a year off, and it's so good to see the Swedish duo, that beautiful gelding, 18 years young, still performing so very, very well, and certainly looking like a 72+% score. Well, waiting for that score that will take them into the lead and take us into a break. We're still 8 to come forward. So here it comes, the official marks of 72, 73, 72, 73 and 72. Very neat and tidy. So 72.830 is that total for Julia Ramal and Burial KH to lead from Florida Vin and Flynn and Maria Cortano and Hit Plus, the 1, 2, 3 is Sweden, Belgium and Portugal. And we come back in 10 minutes time.
Tells me to stop feeling
Saturday morning, jumped out of bed and put on my best suit. Got in my car, raced like a jet, all the way to you. Knocked on your door with heart in my hand to ask you a question, 'cause I know that you're an old-fashioned man. Yeah. Can I have your daughter for the rest of my life? Say yes, 'cause I need to know. You say I'll never get your blessing till the day I die. Tough love with my friend, but the answer is no. Why you gotta be so rude? Don't you know I'm human too? Why you gotta be so rude? I'm gonna marry you anyway. Marry that girl. Marry you anyway. Marry that girl. Yeah, no matter what you say. Marry that girl. And we'll be a family. Why you gotta be so rude? I hate to do this, you leave no choice. Can't live without her. Love me or hate me, we will be boys, standing at that altar. Or we will run away to another guy that say you know she's in love with me. She will go anywhere I go. Can I have your daughter for the rest of my life? Say yes, 'cause I need to know. You say I'll never get your blessing till the day I die. Tough love with my friend, 'cause the answer's still no. Why you gotta be so rude? Don't you know I'm human too? Why you gotta be so rude? I'm gonna marry you anyway. Marry that girl. Marry you anyway. Marry that girl. No matter what you say. Marry that girl. And we'll be a family. Why you gotta be so rude? Can I have your daughter for the rest of my life? Say yes, 'cause I need to know. You say I'll never get your blessing till the day I die. Tough luck, my friend, but no still means no. Why you gotta be so rude? Don't you know I'm human too? Why you gotta be so rude? I'm gonna marry you anyway. Marry that girl. Marry you anyway. Marry that girl. No matter what you say. Marry that girl. And we'll be a family. Why you gotta be so Anytime I see you, let me know about the plan and see, just let me go. I'm on my knees when I'm begging, 'cause I don't wanna lose you. Hey, yeah, ra-da-da-da, 'cause I'm begging you. Put your love in the hand now, baby. I'm begging
Delighted to welcome you back to FEI TV on this beautiful Sunday morning here in France, Compiègne, for the 5-star CDI, International Dressage at its very best. This Nations Cup event yesterday and the Grand Prix yesterday, and then of course now the special with the freestyle to come a little later. We're halfway through the Grand Prix special. It's currently led by Sweden's Julia Ramel and Beriel KH just before the break. That tremendous experience partnership, bringing that experience to the arena, 72.830 to set the standard. Still 8 more to go. Belgium sitting in second with Florida Win, and Belgium go next with this partnership because it's the turn now of Larissa Pololis. Bringing here Flambeau. Yesterday scoring 72.826%. Of course, was in the Grand Prix. Sorry, it was 71.5. 71.870. I'll get there in a minute. The final mark had fallen off my screen. Right, Larissa here and Flambeau. Of course, she's got 2 wonderful horses in her stable in the form of First Valentin that went to Riyadh in the World Cup finals to finish in 12th, and Flambeau that she's riding here today.
Cause
14 now, Flambeau. I am Pierre. Out of a Zilip mare. Combination's best special score is very much on target at the moment because their best score came in Risenbeck at the Europeans for these two, 72.766, and certainly with the way things have started, if it can continue, would be looking to try and match, maybe even beat that today. Just to remind you, the judges, Eddie Marcus Ringmark from Sweden, Serine Timbron from France is at H, Susan Barrett at C from Denmark, Great Britain's Isabel Vessels at M, and at B, Michael Osinski for the USA. Strong through the walk, really nice transition, then into the piaffe out into the passage. pirouette to try and sit the horse back. Looks a little bit better to the right, but still needs more. Comfortable and well established, very strong through the pied and passage movement. Let's go for score. Move up a little bit more, and it is. Nice halt. No, there was just those couple of little moments in that test, but beyond, it's still looking to be over 70%. Whether it will sneak up into second or stay in third is going to be a very, very close run affair. 70.511 at the moment. Second would be 70.681 currently. And Larissa Polilis there riding Flambeau, getting us back underway in this Grand Prix special. Riders we get to see from Belgium. Here comes the score, and it is into third. So a 69, a 69, a 70, 71 and 72. So 70.596%. Just, well, less than 0.1 behind Florida Vin and Flynn FRH from Belgium, who still stay in second place. The pack shuffles down below, but still in the lead is Juliette Ramel and Bariel KH leading at the moment. Also ahead of ourselves, the next one on their way, I would think, in a moment or two. Here they come. Denise Nakkerman riding for the Netherlands, of course, second of the Dutch riders. We saw Dina van Liera and her 9-year-old a little bit earlier on. This, though, is Boston STH, this Dutch warblood. Stallion by Johnson TN, of a Quattro mare that has played such a role in her career, bringing her through the youth ranks of young riders up into the under-25s, where she is along that way picked up both team and individual honours. Rode on the World Cup circuit last winter, or the winter just finished fourth in London, both in the Grand Prix and in the freestyle with this horse. It's now 18 years young. PB for the partnership in the Prix special came at a 3-star in Hagen in 2020, was a 71.936, so we got a good strong start in terms of their scores here today. These two have a fabulous relationship together, really know each other well. That already showing here. performance so far. It's been mistake-free, nothing major, just relaxing as much as they can into this extended walk. Silver's just reached out a little more, picking up the reins into this collected walk. This rather difficult transition. You can see her just using her legs, just needing to bring a little bit more activity to that, just so much power and control required. Need to be careful not to fall out of the pirouettes. Nice. Good transition. Wonderful test, as ever, from those two, and now looking and pushing forward out of the junior and youth ranks is the better way of putting it. And certainly such a strong and established combination, and able to perform at this level. And that score, another now over 70%. That's what, 5 scores 70 plus, 70, 70, 69, 70, 71 across a panel of judges. 71.298 there for Delete Ackerman. Riding with Boston STH. So still, Juliette Ramel leads. Of course, the Swedish star out in front, 72.830. Well, we move forward and to the first of the British riders in this class, 2 for Great Britain. Of course, we're on that team yesterday. Annabella Pidgley is riding here with Gio. This super Dutch warm blood by Apache out of a Tango mare. Annabella, who was the reigning European young rider champion, that came with Espe, her other super ride that has taken her to medals alongside those golds last year at youth level in young riders, and in juniors she's taken individual and team medals. Has been very successful ever since breaking into the pony ranks on INE back in 2018. Now this ride, of course, is one that she's been building with over the last couple of years. It's the former ride of Olympic star champion Charlotte Dujardin. Charlotte, of course, rode this horse in Tokyo to take the bronze medal, and in the Europeans that year in Hagen, signing off with the freestyle in London back in 2021, and then Annabella just been building up with this horse since then. It's not the first time these two have ridden the special. They've in fact ridden it on 4 occasions, most recently in Tarbert in the Netherlands. But their scores in the special have gone as high as 77.787. That came at Addington in Buckinghamshire in the UK in March of this year, when she won the Grand Prix and the Grand Prix special with this horse. It's a good solid start. Solid performance. Gio looking good, Annabella looking good. Ooh. Losing again a little bit through that transition into the PF. Just needing to create a little bit more activity, it's a little bit more defined in the transition. Really getting into their flow. Maybe just needs a little bit more lift, maybe a little bit more activity through the first of the pirouettes. First 5-star show for this combination. And looking like they're heading into a clear second place. Superb from Annabella Pidgley and from Gio. Combination really looking very, very good indeed. And a score of 71.8 or thereabouts is going to go up a little bit more, as you can see, as the final marks go in. Very impressive indeed. You, as I say, looking at a combination there that have only ridden 4 specials together, and you think of the experience with the 18-year-old Barry LKH who still leads. Annabella Pidgley, 71.936%. So within a percentage point of the leader, 70, 73, 70, 72 and 72. So that one mark from me had been a little bit higher, but the score certainly would have perhaps been higher. We move on, because it is Denmark that come in a moment. But as I say, it is now Sweden, Great Britain and Belgium, the 1, 2, 3. Denmark, of course, coming out on top in the Nations Cup yesterday. There's a couple of Danish riders in this class. That's why we couldn't see them, they'd gone the other way. Right, here we go with the Danish partnership up next. Denmark, as I say, yesterday going very, very well. They finished second, third and fourth in the Grand Prix. This partnership finished third. Karina Karsokuf riding Helines Tenserera. First and ball. A Deniro mare. Of course, this has been very much the big championship partner for her, the ride that she's brought through from a young horse all the way to those Olympic Games in Tokyo, where she qualified to ride in the freestyle and finished in 7th place. Part of the gold medal winning team in Herning as well at those World Championships. She has also finished twice in the top 5 at World Cups and was a bronze medalist last year at the Europeans on that team, and at those major championships consistently qualifying all the way through to the freestyle. So, as I say, a really outstanding partnership that these two have. Now 13 years of age, Helines Tenserera. They have, on one occasion, broken the 80% barrier in the 5-star in Herning in 2020. 80.106 in the Grand Prix Special.
Talking in my sleep at night, making myself crazy. Out of my mind, out of my mind. Wrote it down and read it out, hoping it would save me. Don't pick up the phone, you know he's only calling cause he's drunk and alone. 2, don't let him in, you have to kick him out again. 3, don't be his friend, you know you're
just looking so super smooth and relaxed in these movements. Just look like she's sitting there when you know actually she's working very, very hard, but you just can't tell. Beautiful transition, lovely extended movements. party piece. So relaxed. So much expression in the passage, piaf, passage.
In the faded light, you touch my body. I can feel your hands on my skin. Think you got me right where you want me, but you're just in my way. I came to party on my own. Don't need nobody in my soul. I get down to the beat, I lose control.
Again, I think there's just a little bit more to show there. You can see how the mark did start to creep a little bit backwards on her.
We're on our way to cross the line. Think you got me right where you want me, but it's all in your mind. I came to party on my own. Don't need nobody in my soul. I get down to the beat, I lose control. Ayo, I go so low. Boy, you can cool it down. Not here to fool around. Just wanna dance, 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 dance. I know you want me, but I don't care, baby. Just wanna
Pushing very much towards the top of this class here in the Grand Prix Special. To watch, and I'm sure heading to the lead after the top performance yesterday to finish on the podium in the Grand Prix. The Danish team very much came here with strength, with Karina joining, of course, Nana and Daniel. And there's the score, 71, a 75, another 75 and two 73s. It marries in then to 73.745% to put the Danish star on top. Denmark, Sweden, Great Britain, the 1, 2, 3, Karina Kasakruf, Juliette Ramel and Annabella Pitchley. That is your top three at the moment, as it stands here in Compiègne, enjoying a second day of 5-star dressage, and of course the freestyle to come a little bit later on this afternoon, but it's the Grand Prix Special that is our focus here this morning, and we are now down to the final four: Sweden, Denmark, Germany, and this combination that go next, riding for Great Britain. The second of the British pairings, and of course another star combination that have certainly come to the fore for British dressage in the last year or so at the international level, although this is a horse that's been certainly showing where it was going as it came through the young horse classes and then building up its national career before really stepping very proudly onto the international stage, including that performance in London last Christmas, or just before Christmas, when they finished third in the freestyle in the World Cup round. Becky, alongside the Grand Prix in Lear and Addington recently, has been concentrating though on the specials. As I say, this horse has only done 2 Grand Prix specials, and the first of those coming in Lear, where she scored 74.596. To go to second place that day at Addington, she rode the special to win on 76.191. I'm sure she'll be looking to just try and reaffirm those scores. These two were travelling reserves, part of the British team to the Europeans last year. Now 10 years of age is Jägerbomb, and he stepped up to the big tour classes last season. Certainly a strong start. Of course, she had a good performance yesterday with Jägerbomb in the Grand Prix, 73.804 yesterday in the Grand Prix test. Finished in 6th place. It's the first time they've ridden a Grand Prix special in a 5-star event. So good for the Passage and Piaf before, and that really does bring the marks up. So it's given them the strong opening, it's given them really good scores. Very tight at the top. There's less than 1% between first and second at the moment, which means there's a very easy swing, and then you have less than 2% covers the top 3 as it currently stands.
don't know he is safe when she says, she tells him, ooh, love, no one's ever gonna hurt you, love. I'm gonna give you all of my love. Nobody matters like you.
Stay up there,
She
stay
tells
up there.
him your life ain't gonna be nothing like my life. You're gonna grow and have a good life. I'm gonna do what I got to do. Yeah. So rock-a-bye, baby, rock-a-bye.
Rock-a-bye, rock-a-rock-a-rock-a-bye.
You rock-a-bye, baby, don't you cry.
Rock-a-bye, rock-a-rock-a-rock-a-bye.
You rock-a-bye, baby, rock-a-bye.
Rock-a-bye, rock-a-rock-a-rock-a-bye.
You rock-a-bye, baby, don't you cry.
With a bang, bang, bang. Alright then. Rock-a-bye, don't bother cry. Lift up your head, lift it up to the sky, yo. Rock-a-bye, don't bother cry. Angels around you, just draw your eye car. Rock-a-bye, don't bother cry. Lift up your head, lift it up to the sky, yo. Rock-a-bye, don't bother cry. Angels around you, just draw your eye.
Don't stay awake for too long. Don't go to bed. I'll make a cup of coffee for your head. I'll get you
Setting up for the pirouette.
Yeah, I don't wanna fall asleep, I don't wanna pass away. I've been thinking of our future cause I'll never see those days. I don't know why this has happened, but I probably deserve it. I tried to do my best, but you know that I'm not perfect. I've been praying for forgiveness, you've been praying for my health. When I leave this earth, hoping you'll find someone else. Cause yeah, we still young, there's so much we haven't done. Getting married, start a family,
Nicely
watch
done.
your husband with his son. I wish it could be me, but I won't make it off this bed. I hope I go to heaven, so I see you once again.
It's getting ever closer to being able to take the lead. You can see how tight the marks are now. It's all going to come down to this final centre line here. Becky Moody and Jägerbomb.
stay awake for too long. Don't go to bed. I'll make a cup of coffee for your head. I'll get you up and going out of bed.
Yeah, I'm happy that you're here with me. I'm sorry if I tear up. When me and you were younger, you would always make me cheer up. Taking goofy videos and walking through the park. You would jump into my arms every time you heard a bark. Cuddle in your sheets, sang me sound asleep.
Beautiful final line as well as they look to be delivering once again a very strong score here in the Grand Prix Special. Maybe their third special outing, but showing a tremendous level of consistency. And Becky, who is certainly pushing forward her case for being part of that team in Paris this summer. And there's your scores: a 73, a 74, a 73, a 75 and a 74. So very consistent judging marks to give that 74.298 and push Becky Moody and Jägerbomb to the top of the leaderboard here in this FEI Grand Prix Special, the 5-star competition. That Becky's scores with Jäger there now in the specials, a 74.5, the 76.1, and then today a 74.298, but today a 5-star level. Katharina Hemmer for Germany now. The next PCH is the next to go. Oldenburg Stallion by Destano out of a Pic Noir mare. First of the final three. Well, starting this 12-year-old off. Read the special. That was their first and only show so far this year. They've ridden in Frankfurt, of course, last year in the 5-star in December, where they won the Grand Prix and the Grand Prix special. They won the special that day on 76.659. Repeat that score would very much put them in the lead, and they certainly got a bright start here. Katarina, who performed well yesterday, finishing in 8th place in that Grand Prix test. Year-old stallion was originally ridden by Hubertus Schmidt. Special score in Frankfurt that I mentioned was their combination best as well. They're a little bit behind that now, but still looking like they could well lead after this test. A little bit of tension in places, just hasn't quite been as smooth as it's unfolded. The scores at the top are now very tight, and this is what I love about this sport, is every single individual mark from the judges can make such a difference. And the level that we've been able to watch yesterday and then again today is certainly borne witness to some very close competition. I mean, the Grand Prix yesterday was so tight through the top 10. And it's just the way sport and this sport should be. Errors as of yet. It just doesn't perhaps look quite as fluid as we saw with a couple of the others in the form of Corina or Becky. Very well connected, very precise in their execution.
get my weed from California. That's that shit. I took my chick up to the north, yeah. Badass bitch. I get my life right from the source, yeah. I got my peaches out in Georgia. Oh yeah, shit. I get my weed from California. That's that shit. I took my chick up to the north, yeah. Badass bitch. I get my life right from the source, yeah. Yeah, that's it. I got my peaches out in Georgia. Oh yeah, shit. I get my weed from California. That's that shit. I took my chick up to the north, yeah. Badass bitch. I get my life right from the source, yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Just getting a little untidy there. Was jumping out of the pirouette. Again, just struggling on that transition. The tension just bobbled over, it seemed, for a moment. You can see what an impact that's had on the score. Test that could have easily seen them in the top 3, maybe 4, but sadly will be a disappointment to see that they will now just get into the top 10 for the moment. There is plenty more scores left on the table there after that sort of, as I say, moment coming out of the pirouette, and it really impacted on their marks. Straight 69s from all 5 to give you a 69.702 at the end of the line there in the total column for Katharina Hermer for Germany. Germany's other riders taking part in the freestyle, which of course is coming up this afternoon at 1 p.m. Two more to go in the Grand Prix special. Becky Moody leading from Karina Kasagruf and Juliette Ramel. Well, the other one went left as well. Back with Denmark for the penultimate partnership. The combination that finished second yesterday led for quite some time as well, and they were only pipped to the post by Frederick. It is Daniel Bachmann Andersen now for Denmark, the best of the 3 Danish riders. Denmark, as I can remind you, finished second, third and fourth, and I'm very impressed with the way their horses performed. Daniel, who's had some tremendous horses over the years, which have taken him to World and European Championships, World Cup finals. This horse, Veron, went to the Europeans last year, went to Riesenbeck, and picked up the team bronze medal. They were on that team. They also qualified all the way through to the freestyle at the end. So you ready? Last time these two rode together, the 13-year-old stallion was in competition in Herning in the 5-star special back in March, where he scored 76.149. brilliant so far. Just looks like they are trotting on air. So much expression and elasticity in those paces. Getting closer. Although it has very, very well done. What a starring combination those two are, and it really is an amazing partnership just to watch as they perform. They look today to be over 75%. They've once scored 76.149. but that 75.915 has launched them into the lead. And, well, on paper, I think they were always going to be the favourites after the performance yesterday in the Grand Prix. For a combination that have already been to one championship when they went to Risenbeck last year, I think will be very much looking to be part of the Danish setup. I think the three that are here have all made the case, quite frankly, to go to Paris in the summer. And Daniel Bachmann-Andersen, a superb talent, that lovely 13-year-old stallion Veron, has just taken the lead here in the Grand Prix Special. There is still, though, one more partnership to go. They finished in 9th yesterday in the Grand Prix itself, and it's Marie von Essen riding Invoice, the Oldenburg gelding by Jazz out of a Olympic Ferro mare. It is Denmark, Great Britain, Denmark, the 1, 2, 3. Can Sweden join in the mix in some way with this last ride? Won a special, Grand Prix special in Tolbert in the 3-star in April was 75%. Their top score in the special came in August last year, 75.255. So they've got it in them twice, well, 2 out of 3 Grand Prix specials. Their two best scores are 75% scores, and repeating at that level today puts you second. Maybe upping that level puts you first. We will see. Marie von Essen for Sweden, the last to go on Invoice.
Only care about money making. Selfishness got us following the wrong direction. Wrong information always shown by the media. Negative images is the main criteria. Infecting the young minds faster than bacteria. Kids wanna act like what they see in the cinemas. Yeah. Whatever happened to the values of humanity? Whatever happened to the fairness and equality? Instead of spreading love, we're spreading animosity. Lack of understanding leading us away from unity. That's the reason why sometimes I'm feeling under. That's the reason why sometimes I'm feeling down. It's no wonder why sometimes I'm feeling under. Gotta keep my faith alive till love is found. Now ask yourself, where is the love? Where is the love? Where is the love? Father, 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 help us. Send some guidance from above. These people got me questioning. Where is the love? Sing with me, y'all. One world, one world. We only got one world, one world. That's all we got. One world, one world. And something's wrong with it. Something's wrong with it. Something's wrong with the world. Yeah, we only got one world, one world. That's all we got. One world, one world.
Certainly haven't started with one of their best showings so far, keeping up their average. The standard is certainly high today, and currently, although it's showing third, it is so tight, which is a big jump to go forward.
I want you to breathe me. Let me be your air. Let me roam your body freely. No inhibition, no fear. How deep is your love? Is it like
Stretching down nicely, looking very relaxed. You can't afford any errors though, because she is less than a point of a percentage, and there you can see it shuffles the wrong way slightly. And we go from second to fourth, fifth, because it is just so tight in that little group. But, as I say, Daniel is sort of clear at the top, but then Becky, Karina, Juliette Ramel in second, third and fourth. You can even bring Annabella Pidgley into that in fifth on Geo as well. Very, very tight. Changes. Down to the one times. Final few moments of this test. Still a very good chance of maybe pushing as high as the top three, but otherwise it will be fourth. She's solidly coming to its conclusion, in fact just walking a little bit. Well, Not perfect at the end, but still so many wonderful moments in Maria Van Essen and Invoices test, and certainly appreciated by us and this amazing crowd here today. It looks like it will be fourth, and that score around 73. We'll perhaps just see Maria Van Essen get ahead of Juliette Ramel and Burial KH, which will see the Swedish riders featuring in the top 5. So looks like it's going to be 2 for Denmark, 2 for Great Britain and 2 for Sweden in the top 5 it is. A 74, a 73, a 72, a 73 and a 72. So we have a total of 73.276% to finish in 4th. But congratulations to Daniel Bachmann Andersen, the star from Denmark and Veron. The wonderful Westphalian stallion by Vitalis has taken the honours in the Grand Prix Special, the 5-star here in Compiègne. 75.915%. He led the Grand Prix yesterday for a long time and of course was beaten in the end by Frederick Vanders, who we'll see in the freestyle with Duke of Britain. But Veron really putting in some strong tests and picking up the scores. Congratulations Becky Moody, another superb showing on Jägerbomb, continuing to make her case to be perhaps part of the team in Paris. Karina Kreskulf for Denmark, finishing there in 3rd with Helene's Daquera. And then it was Maria Van Essen, Juliette Ramel and Annabella Pidgley. Well, presentations will be coming along in around about 10 minutes time. We'll take you through those and then we get underway in around 40 minutes time with the freestyle here this afternoon in Compiègne, all live for you on FEI TV. We'll enjoy the presentations together very soon.
I'll wake you up with some breakfast in bed. I'll bring you coffee with a kiss on your head. And I'll take the kids to school, wave them goodbye. And I'll thank my lucky stars for that night. When you looked over your shoulder, for a minute I forget that I'm older. I wanna dance with you right now. Oh, you look as beautiful as ever, and I swear that every day you'll get better. You make me feel this way somehow. I'm so in love with you, and I hope you know, darling, your love is more than worth its weight in gold. We've come so far, my dear, look how we've grown. And I wanna stay with you until we're great old. Just say you won't let go.
Presentation about to get underway from the Grand Prix special here this morning. We get to welcome our prize winners in for their lap of honour here in this arena. It's certainly given us a brilliant competition yet again, and I've enjoyed all of it. The top 8, Varisopoulos and Flambeau. 70.596 was the score to finish in 8th there for Belgium. There is Florida Win and Flynn FRH, 70.681 the score. Belgium finishing there in 7th and 8th. Great Britain's young rider Annabella Pidgley and Gio finishing in 6th. I think will be over the moon with that performance on that Apache side gelding, finishing 6th. Juliette Ramel, great to see Burial KH going well here today. Sweden finishing 5th there, 72.830, and of course Sweden finishing in 4th place as well with Marie von Essen. An invoice, which sets us up for the top of the line to come our way for the presentation of awards here for this FEI Grand Prix Special CDI 5-star. Live with you on FEI TV here in Compiègne. It's going to come this afternoon, the freestyle competition as well, getting underway in about half an hour's time. So we now await the arrival of our podium finishers. Heading our way, the top 3 for this FEI Grand Prix Special. 2 for Denmark, 1 for Great Britain, but it is the Danish anthem that will play. As after finishing in 2nd place yesterday in that Grand Prix test, he's come out on top here in the special. It is Daniel Bachmann Andersen, and riding Rudolf Spikeman and his own Veron, the Westphalian stallion by Vitalas Adame Gostobert. 75.915% is that final score. 2nd place going to Becky Moody and Jägerbomb for Great Britain. There she is. Well done, Becky. And Joe Cooper's tremendous gelding. And then in 3rd, another superb performance, being 3rd and 3rd in the Grand Prix and in the special for Corina Casakruf and Helines Dancerera. As they line up, our officials prepare for the anthem of our winning nation, Denmark. Many congratulations to Daniel, wonderful individual and a man that has proved his talent over and over. And I'm sure now with this wonderful stallion Veron, aiming for Paris this year, and I think the Danish squad with a lot of great horsepower, great riding talent. Beautiful trophy, wonderful prizes, and of course the traditional bouquet of flowers as well being awarded now to the Grand Prix special winner. 75.915 is a strong score yet again from those two. Turning for the official photographers and photos of this moment. Great to see Veron just stood there, enjoying, all just taking it in. And there in second place, Becky Moody. Her and Joe Cooper's Jaeger Bomb continues to show what a quality combination they are. Very much at the elite level of this sport. 74.298 in the special here today. I'm sure Becky will be very pleased with the way that has gone. She certainly led the line for the British team here. And another marker in the sand as she tries to push towards being selected for the summer. A pair of thirds in the Grand Prix and now in the special, Karina Karasakaruf and Helene Stancierera, a combination that have, of course, competed at the highest level in this sport, and they've won medals as part of Danish teams before. They finish on 73.745%. Tremendous sport from start to finish. Some of the best from the world of dressage here in Compiègne. More of the best of world of dressage to come in about 25 minutes time when we kick off with the freestyle. We're looking forward to that. As the presentation wraps up, I can leave you enjoy this lap of honour. Take it away. Daniel Bachmann Andersen and Veron.
time that she gets close, yeah. She pulls me in enough to keep me guessing. And maybe I should stop and start confessing. Confessing, yeah. Oh, I've been shaking. I love it when you go crazy. You take all my inhibitions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. You take me places that tear up my reputation. Manipulate my decisions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. There's nothing holding me back. There's nothing holding me back. She says that she's never afraid. Just picture everybody naked. She really doesn't like to wait. Not really into hesitation. Pulls me in enough to keep me guessing. Oh, and maybe I should stop and start confessing. Confessing, yeah. Oh, I've been shaking. I love it when you go crazy. You take all my inhibitions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. You take me places that tear up my reputation. Manipulate my decisions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. There's nothing holding me back. Cause if we lost our minds and we took it way too far, I know we'd be alright. I know we would be alright if you were by my side. And we stumbled in the dark, I know we'd be alright. I know we would be alright. Cause if we lost our minds and we took it way too far, I know we'd be alright. I know we would be alright if you were by my side. We stumbled in the dark, I know we'd be alright. We would be alright. Oh, I've been shaking. I love it when you go crazy. You take all my inhibitions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. You take me places that tear up my reputation. Manipulate my decisions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. Oh, there's nothing holding me back. I feel so free when you're with me, baby. Baby, there's nothing holding me back.
I wake up to the sounds of the silence that allows for my mind to run around with my ear up to the ground. I'm searching to behold the stories that I told when my back is to the world that was smiling when I turned. Tell you you're the greatest, but once you turn, they hate us. Oh, the misery. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Spare the sympathy. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Look out for yourself. My enemy. Look out for yourself.
But I'm ready.
Your words up on the wall as you're praying for my phone, and the laughter in the halls, and the names that I've been called. I stack it in my mind, and I'm waiting for the time when I show you what it's like to be worse fit in a mind. Tell you you're the greatest, but once you turn, they hate us. Oh, the misery. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Spare the sympathy. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Look out for yourself. My enemy. Look out for yourself.
Look, okay, I'm hoping that somebody pray for me. I'm praying that somebody hope for me. I'm staying where nobody supposed to be. Posted, being a wreck of emotions. Ready to go whenever you let me know. The road is long, so put the pedal into the flow. The energy on my trail, my energy unavailable. I'ma tell him I still away go. Hey, when I fly on my drive to the top, I've been thinking out the box, I'm an astronaut. I blasted off the planet, rock that caused catastrophe, and it matters more because I had it. Now I had a thought about wreaking havoc on an opposition, kinda shocking. They want a static with precision. I'm automatic, quarterback. I ain't talking second pack it up on panic, batter up. Who the baddest? It don't matter, cause we is your everybody wants to be my enemy. Spare the sympathy. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Oh, the misery. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Spare the sympathy. Everybody wants to be my enemy. I swear I'll never be a saint, no way. My enemy. I swear I'll never be a saint. Look out for yourself.
Thought I found a way. Thought I found a way, yeah. But you never go away. So I guess I gotta stay now. Oh, I